Good morning. Welcome back to Pastor's Morning Walk. It's a cold day, but the Lord is good. We just enjoyed chapel and did a little catechism walk in which I rehearsed the catechism with the boys. They're proceeding well in the second portion of the catechism on the moral law, and I look forward at the end of the semester to their reciting it for the elders again. Well, I've been reading in Ezekiel, and yesterday I read in 33, and it calls the minister a watchman and commands him to be faithful in sounding the trumpet, so that even if men don't hear, he can deliver his own soul, because he warned them. This is important, and it's very lacking today. I read this morning in Ezekiel 34, and it condemns the shepherds that feed themselves and promises the poor sheep who are afflicted by such shepherds that God will be their shepherd and he will care for them. I would apply this comfort to many today in the churches who have ministers who are feeding themselves. God will take care of you. You need to trust him. If ministers disappoint you, Christ will not. God will not. He is faithful. Trust him, and do not let the unfaithfulness of certain men say anything against the faithfulness of God. It is a great temptation when ministers fail to think that God has failed or Christ has failed, and to have your faith shaken. Do not let it. This would be an attack of Satan. Do not let him get the advantage. If you do have a faithful minister, a shepherd who cares for your own soul for God's sake and for your sake and not first for his own sake, then thank God for it and embrace him and support that man. And even though he may be beset by many weaknesses, as we are, be thankful for him. And if you're a minister hearing this, or with ministers, ruling elders, or even just a Christian, do your best to be a faithful man who lives for others' good and who shepherds the flock according to your calling, not for filthy lucre's sake, as Paul warns of certain men in Titus 1, but for the sake of God, being faithful, knowing that the chief shepherd will appear, as Peter says, and give you a reward for your love for the flock. I preached this morning a passage that is a heavy challenge to me. Proverbs 20, verse 6. Every man, or most men, will proclaim every one his own goodness, but a faithful man who can find? This speaks realistically about this evil age in which there are very few men who are faithful. We read, just after chapel, Genesis 6, in which Noah is found faithful, but he's the only one in that whole generation said to be so. We don't even read that of his sons, though perhaps in charity we could grant that Shem and Japheth were faithful men. It's not said. Noah alone, one man that we know of, in a world of perhaps at that time billions. This is common. I don't know of a time it's ever been that bad since Noah's day. And we can't deny that God has made some men relatively faithful. It was a sin on the part of the psalmist, Psalm 116:11, that he said in his haste, all men are liars. That is, there's no faithful man left. The same haste of Elijah when he said that he was the only one left. No, God had preserved 7,000. But even with the 7,000 preserved, we don't know most of them. And it often can feel like there is none other. And the fact is, even among the godly, there's a constant temptation to proclaim ourselves more faithful than we are. The beginning to the solution of this is humility. To confess openly the ways in which you have been unfaithful. To confess it to God and, as necessary, to men. And labor to be faithful, even in Luke 16:10, the things that are least. Coming to God, the faithful God, who faithfully promises forgiveness for the unfaithful. And then laboring, by His grace, to be like Him and being faithful. May the Lord bless you in this today.